Love. Johnny Appleseed, Tales of Virtue. Woo! All right. Adapted by Jennifer Bardart, illustrated by Rusty Fletcher. All right. There was once a traveler who answered to the name Johnny Appleseed. Everyone knew Johnny. He was born in Boston, Massachusetts, around 1775. When Johnny was 26 years old, he set out to travel all across America. Johnny had collected apple seeds in the East and then carried them in a sack slung over his back. As he traveled, Johnny spread the seeds. He often planted many seeds in one area. He would then build a fence around the growing trees to protect them. When settlers came from the east, they would find the apple orchards and feel at home. Not all the seeds ended up as trees in an orchard, though. Sometimes they fell by the side of the road or got trampled. Some of the seeds were eaten by squirrels. Other seeds were washed away by the train. Sometimes, though, they would start to grow. This is a story about one of those seeds. All right. He looks happy, though. Oh, look. There's a cool little deer and some fish. And a rabbit! And some more squirrel. And a squirrel. And two birds. And an apple tree. All right. This seed fell from Johnny's pack as he walked away from a tiny village. There were only a few settlers who lived in this village. Just outside the village was a happy little stream. The seed landed beside the stream. As luck would have it, the soil there was very good for growing trees. It was long before it grew into a young tree. The tree had thin bark, and soon it sprouted a crown of branches tipped with green leaves. It grew in an open spot, where there was plenty of sunlight. Each day the tree seemed to get a little bit stronger. Johnny would have liked the way this new tree was growing. Years passed, and the young sapling grew into a fine tree. It was more and more settlers passing by on their way west. The small path became even more worn into the ground from the wagons and people passing by. The tree kept growing. Every year it welcomed the deer and rabbit families who came to visit. The tree's branches soon filled with quick-footed squirrels. Tweet, 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 tweet. I don't know what kind of sound deers make. I know that rabbits make a honk, honk, honk sound. And fishes make a pss, pss, pss sound. At least that's what Mr. Brown says. Alrighty. Sometimes the squirrels nibbled on the tree's apples. A bird's family always built a nest in the tree's branches. Even its bark was home to tiny beetles and caterpillars. The tree was glad to have company. More time passed, and the village became a town. The tree continued to grow, too. It stood high above the well-worn path, which was now covered with cement. The branches of the tree spread far over the stream. Now the town was always busy. It was filled with houses, factories, and people. The town noises mixed in with the other sounds that the tree had always known. Unfortunately, with all the people and noise, the deer and rabbits were scared away. The tree missed them. One day a loud rumbling noise woke the tree before the morning dew and dried on the grass. A big machine came and started digging holes in the ground. The tree heard the workers say that the town was booming. The tree wasn't quite sure what that meant. But Look at that. They got the babies now, and you got the humans, and they got the trees too, and other fruits in the back, and stores and businesses and mail. Got lots of cool things. Oh, look at this. What's going on? All right. Soon, tall buildings were built. These buildings blocked the sunlight. The smoke from the factories made the tree choke and even turned some of its leaves yellow. The stream did not run past its roots anymore. Perhaps worst of all, even the people seemed too busy to notice the tree. This made the tree very sad. A very tall building had been built right across the street from the tree. A new family moved into the new building. There was a little boy in that family. He was sad because he did not know anyone to play with him. When his mom went to the grocery store, he always asked permission to wait outside. He would step over the fence that surrounded the tree, wrap his arms around the trunk, and give the tree a hug. Then he would climb the trunk as fast as a squirrel. This made the tree so happy. It would hold its branches out strong, and still so, the boy would not slip. The tree would then part its leaves so the boy would see the hills beyond the city. Oh, look at that. What's going on here? You got a dog right there. Mom was like, oh my gosh. He was like, help. And the guy's like, what's over here? You know, I don't know what he's digging for. All right. Sometimes that boy would pretend he was a cowboy, riding through those distant hills. The tree became the boy's favorite place. The boy and the tree spent many happy afternoons together. One afternoon, the boy's mother called him to come in. He did not hear her because he was sleeping in the tree. His mother was very worried. She asked some neighbors to help her look for him. They were all calling and looking for the boy. Then someone looked up and saw the sleeping boy in the branches of the apple tree. They all called to him again. The sleeping boy opened his eyes and saw the crowd below. "Come down, young man, you'll get hurt," called his mother. My gosh, that's a horrible mother. I would not want my mother to sound like that. That sounds scary. Sounds very theatric. Let's see here. Don't worry, answered the boy. This tree is my friend. It watches out for me. An old man chuckled. "It's true," he said. "I napped in this tree when I was a boy." Yes. Oh, thank you. That was very good. You make a very delicious tea. Thank you. That's I don't. A woman told her story of how she used to picnic under this tree with her true love. Everyone told stories about how they remembered the tree from when they were young. Everyone looked at the tree and its little patch of grass. They all felt very sad because of what they had let happen to the tree. "This tree has been a friend to all of us," said the boy. "It should have a better home. Let's build a park," said someone from the back of the crowd. The people cheered. In just a few days, there was a loud and rumbling sound again. The tree was not afraid this time. With the help of the big machines, the people were able to safely move the tree to an empty lot nearby. Then, believe it or not, they planted lots of flowers and little saplings. The tree, who had only seen others like itself from a distance, was now going to be surrounded by other trees. The tree was even visited by friendly birds and squirrels again. That's good. That is really good. Go, tree, go! That's where that tree belongs. That tree's got a whole past. It should express its history and stuff of family and stuff, and Yeah, just life experience of being a tree. Yeah, it's important. Everything comes from somewhere. Everyone, yeah. All right. So a neighborhood store owner sent over some benches and swings. Soon people filled the park. Birds filled the trees. Birds filled the trees, and laughter filled the air. The tree was very happy. Magically, the park seemed to change life in around the neighborhood. It was almost as if people began to walk more slowly. They made time for picnics and games. Children came to play and climb in the tree's branches. The little boy had read about Johnny Appleseed in the books at school. Then he had an idea. Let's name the park after Johnny Appleseed, he said to all his neighbors. The people thought that was a great idea. The little boy continued to visit the tree. Even when he was a man with a family of his own, he would sit in the grass and lean against his old friend's trunk. He would pat the rough bark and smile up at the tree. When he did, the old tree's leaves would rustle and dance, even on the calmest days. Love. The little boy reminded the townspeople that everyone and everything needs love. It is especially important to show trees, animals, and other wild things extra care because they cannot help themselves. In this story, we see the difference love makes to the tree, the boy, and the other people in the city. We also see that when a group of people work together, they can make good things happen. When you are outdoors, pay attention to the world around you. Take time to plant a tree or feed the birds with a friend. It is an act of love that everyone will appreciate. Wow, babe. Tell some. Love, Johnny Appleseed.